Hello fam, hope you're having a wonderful day. So as you can see by the title of this video, today I will be talking to you about my miscarriage experience. I honestly never thought that I would be making a video like this. You know, it's been 6 months since it happened, and at the beginning I thought I wasn't gonna share it, but after 6 months and having healed, I feel ready to share it with you. And also, I decided to make this video because I know that it can be a very lonely experience to have. I know I felt like that. And actually the first place I turned to when it happened was YouTube, because hearing the stories from women's experiences gave me so much peace and gave me comfort in knowing that I wasn't alone. I initially didn't want to make this video because I felt very ashamed and I felt very guilty about what happened. I felt like it was my fault, and I was very afraid for what people would say. But I'm not anymore. So I'm just here to share my journey and my experience with you. And I guess I can start from the beginning. So it happened in April. Dorian and I have now been married for over 2 years. And at this point it had been over a year. And we always said that we would wait at least a year before trying to have babies because, you know, we got married super quickly. And we also wanted to get to know each other more and just have that time for ourselves. So this whole time I had been just doing natural birth control, which is basically following my cycle. I use this app that's called MyFlow app, which tracks your cycle. It tells you what days you're fertile. And so the days that I was fertile, we would abstain from sex or pull out. Lots of details there, but that's basically what we would do. And it worked, honestly, it did work. And then 1 month we said, you know what, how about we just try? We had sex that day, and then I checked and I was like, oh shoot, I was like ovulating. Like I kind of knew, but I wasn't exactly sure. But since we had said a few days prior to that we would relax with, you know, not trying to get pregnant. And so, you know, 28 days later, it's time for my period to come and it doesn't come. And then 2 days after, then 2 days pass, 3 days, 4 days, my period is late. And I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. So I remember one day I got a pregnancy test. I came back home, I was alone at home, and this whole thing, I had filmed this whole thing because I wanted to eventually come out and say, oh, I'm pregnant, and you know, this was like my reaction when I found out and everything. And so I was alone when I took the test, and it was positive. I was pregnant. And it was, so many emotions came through my body, through my mind in that moment. I was nervous, excited. I remember I called my friend right away and I told her, like, I'm pregnant. That was my natural instinct to just do that. And I waited 24 hours before I told Dorian. And then I finally told Dorian. He couldn't believe it. And we were both excited and nervous. And I never thought that I would get pregnant so quickly, to be honest. So it was a surprise. For sure it was a surprise. And in the moment, I was like, okay, I know that I want to have a baby, but at the same time, I would think to myself, oh my gosh, am I ready? And then I would think, you know, you're never really ready to be a mom. We decided to wait to tell our family. And then in the summer, we were in Mexico with my family and with Dorian's family, and we told everyone at the same time. It was actually super cute. What we did is that we gave everyone little boxes with a little card on the top, and it said, get ready for a new adventure. And then they would open the box and it was a raw vegan brownie with, in writing, it was either uncle or aunt or grandma or grandpa. So everyone got their own box, and it was the cutest thing. Everyone was so happy. We cheered. Obviously, I didn't, you know, cheer with champagne or anything. Everyone else did. everyone was just really happy. And then I told my friends too. You know, I had been waiting to tell my friends. I told my friends, I told my family. Eventually, the word spread to my extended family, Dorian's extended family. And literally 2 days after, when we got back from Mexico, I suddenly went to the bathroom and I saw spotting. And I was like, okay, that's weird. I knew that it was normal to have a little bit of spotting, but you know, I didn't think much of it. And this whole time during my pregnancy, I never got nauseous. I was feeling really good. Just the first month, I was very, very tired. I would sleep super early, wake up super late, sleep a ton. I was sleeping so much. I was having weird cravings as well, but nothing crazy. You know, like I was feeling really good. I was, you know, continuing my normal life, still working out, normal, nothing excessive. I toned it down on the coffee and the caffeine and everything, was drinking decaf, was doing all the things that you're supposed to do when you're pregnant. And then I started to get some cramps. 2 hours later, I go back to the bathroom and there's more blood there. So I was like, okay, this is weird. And then the cramping just got worse and worse and worse that night. Oh my gosh, it was the worst. I got to a point where I was taking Advil and Tylenol for the pain. I went into a hot bath. I was doing the castor oil packs, the heating pad. I was doing everything that I normally do when I get really bad cramps. But this time it was like times 100 the pain in my cramps. So finally it was 8 a.m. and the cramping got super, super bad. I was bleeding more and more and more. And I told Dorian, like, please take me to the hospital. I need to go to the emergency room. So we went to the hospital. They took me into the emergency room. And we, you know, with the whole COVID thing, Dorian couldn't even come with me. I went there alone. I was in so much pain. I was screaming in the emergency room. They gave me some pain medicine, and then eventually I went to the bathroom and I had a lot of clots of blood coming out. And then they did the ultrasound. They didn't find anything. They did a transvaginal ultrasound, didn't find anything. So at that point, you know, most of the fetus had come out. I hadn't actually even had my first appointment for my first ultrasound because I was gonna have it at 12 weeks. So I hadn't even had an ultrasound, which is, you know, there was no way to know what happened. You know, it could have been that the heart stopped beating or there was never a heartbeat. So then I stayed in the hospital for about 8 hours that day. I was having like birth contractions. It was basically a premature birth. And then at one point I did go to the bathroom and I saw it come out, which was really weird and traumatic. And I got out of the hospital that day and I was in shock.
I'm about to go home. I've been in a lot of pain the whole day. I lost the baby at almost 12 weeks. And yeah, I'm hopeful for the future and trying again. I know that I'm not the only one that this happens to, and just better take better care of myself, and I'm gonna get more blood work done and just see, you know, if anything's going on with me. Although I know there's just so many reasons for having a miscarriage. Sometimes it's just like something's wrong with the placenta, or like, I don't know, it is what it is.
Shock. Like, I couldn't believe that it happened. Dorian and I were in shock. We weren't really processing it that well. And then all of a sudden, you know, I started hearing of women close to me, like, oh, I had a miscarriage. And then Dorian's grandma had a miscarriage. And another person that we know had a miscarriage. And all of these women around me had had miscarriages that I never knew about. Like, no one had ever talk to me about that. And that's when I learned, like, it's something that people don't really talk about because it's a loss, because it's something painful, because it's part of our society. We just don't really talk about, bad things. And so that's why I found so much comfort in YouTube and social media and reading women's stories. And then eventually, I didn't even really tell my friends. Everyone kind of found out. I didn't feel like telling them. I didn't feel like telling anyone. I didn't feel like sharing it on social media because I felt guilt. I felt shame around it. But one thing I did do was really take the time to feel the sadness, to feel the pain. I took off some days from working, from posting on social media, and I just took those days to myself. And it really did help, and it made a difference because I, in the past, tended to be a person that just brushed it, I would brush it all off, like, oh, it's fine, I'll be fine. And so I learned that it's okay to feel sad, and it's okay to honor. For me, it's important to honor the life of what was and keep it super present. And also know one thing that I have been working on through this whole time is working on the fear of, is it gonna happen again? Or will I be pregnant again? We've actually been actively trying like the past 2 months to get pregnant, and I know, it will stick when it will stick, and I trust God, and I have faith that His plan for my life is perfect, and this experience has just taught me so much. It's taught me first of all, it taught me that I really wanted to be a mom. I realized I really, really wanted it. And it taught me to also be compassionate with myself and to really feel each emotion and to work on my fears and to take better care of my body. And right now I'm doing all the things that I need to do. I'm getting all the blood tests, checking my hormones, and then going from there, I'm seeing my naturopath. He's gonna give me a protocol if there's any imbalances. And I know that if I do everything right, it's going to happen. So that is my story. And I wanted to share it with you because I know that it can be a lonely journey. And I know that it's something that people don't really talk about. And it's very normal for someone to say like, oh, it's super common. It happens to many women. And it's true. It happens to a lot of women, but that doesn't take the fact away that it's a painful experience. And it's okay to talk about it, and it's okay to have conversations about it. So I wanted to make this video to open up the conversation. And if you've had an experience like this, or someone, if you share it, it will help so many women. I know. I will never know why it happened, and it has nothing to do with me. I know that it's just nature. Nature knows best. And I know that if that baby, left my body, it's because maybe something was wrong with it. It came to serve its purpose. And that purpose has been served. And I believe that, and I trust that. If you want, and I feel called to share this because it's something very present. I guess it's my 2021 goal to get pregnant. And I'm trying also to not put so much pressure on myself and have fun with it and enjoy the process and trust. For me, having faith and trusting God is the most important thing. And it gives me so much peace and reassurance and secure. I feel very, very secure and to feel that faith and trust. So I just wanted to share this with you because you guys are a part of my life, and it's something so present that it was weird not to share it at the same time. And this goes back to health and being the healthiest that I can be to bring the healthiest baby that I can. So that's what I'll be focusing on. Thank you so much again. Love you. Thank you guys so much. Sending you a big hug, so much love. Kisses, and thank you for listening and being here. I'll see you in the next one.